I had a conversation with a colleague about this the other day. I think when you introduce a level of abstraction into the work, you actually open the doors for the viewer to actually look at it in a fresh way. Hello, my name is Dan Colvin, and welcome to my studio in Seattle. Today, I'm actually working in some sketches. I work mostly in sculpture now, and right now I'm working on a series of sculptures that involve a lot of elongated, sensuous curves. Sometimes it's very helpful to go back and forth between the mediums. They tend to inform each other. You know, in the world of sculpture that I inhabit, I'm always looking in nature for the different materials, and sometimes you see something in the actual material when you find it in the river, or when you find it in the forest, it's a piece of wood, and you really want to celebrate what nature's already done to it. So I try not to intervene so much in the piece that you no longer recognize that original material as it was found. So the process of carving wood starts with finding a log out in nature and then letting it dry. And then I approach it with big chainsaws and take away lots of material, and I move to smaller chainsaws. And then I will actually start using grinders and little burr tools that spin very fast. And at the very end, I'm using chisels and sandpaper and very fine tools. And it's that whole process is like a narrowing down on the final form that I want to use. Another medium that's really interesting to me is glass. I started out working in fused glass and very quickly moved into the world of sand cast glass. You can see around us several examples of that. This particular piece here is what I call sculpted cast glass, and I'm actually pouring the molten glass into the mold, and before it has a chance to set up, I am wrapping it and manipulating it and sculpting it. In this case, there's sort of a burrito fold going on. It's a very challenging process. There's about a 30-second window I have to make that intervention. And if I wait too long, the glass breaks, and if I go too soon, it won't hold the form. So another medium that I really like to work with is stone. I tend to work with hard stone, and hard stone doesn't really take well to chisels. Like you can see someone working on a block of marble with a chisel. Most of the stone I work with won't work with that kind of a tool. So I'm out there with spinning diamonds and water-fed grinding tools. There's a rule in sculpture, roughly speaking, that the more complex the surface, the less complex the form needs to be. And the more simple the surface, the more complex the form can be. So you can imagine a block of white marble has almost no surface texture on it, and people can do really remarkably intricate things with that. Whereas some of these rocks I'm finding in the river have incredible detail and marbling and intricacy going on, and you really don't want to do too much intervention form-wise into that, or they tend to fight each other. Those sorts of tensions and challenges are what make it both difficult and really fun to do, especially at the end of the process when you have a carved stone that from one angle might look just like something you'd see in the river, but when you shift your position, suddenly you're seeing something that's clearly been carved by a sculptor.
Welcome to Manolin, a restaurant that brings sunny Latin American and Caribbean flavors to a quiet, drizzly corner of Seattle. Manolin is a distinctly Pacific Northwest adaptation of the open-air cevicherias and wood-fired grill eateries that inspired the owners during a road trip across the Yucatan Peninsula. They named the restaurant after the loyal fisherman apprentice to Santiago in Ernest Hemingway's classic story, The Old Man and the Sea. The interior is constructed with repurposed and industrial materials that emit a bright, nautical atmosphere. Chef Alex Barkley offers a seasonal menu of local ingredients infused with a Latin flair: rockfish ceviche with sweet potato and avocados, vegetable slaw, grilled beef with radishes and potatoes, and black rice with squid. The bartender mixes up inventive warm weather cocktails based in Caribbean spirits like tequila and rum. Every few days, fresh halibut weighing up to 80 pounds is delivered and transformed into an exquisite house specialty, served with vegetables and a mole crafted with 26 ingredients. In the back, a walk-in cooler brims with crisp produce from nearby farms: peppers, tomatoes, edible flowers, herbs, cabbage, and radishes. Manolin's outdoor seating is a cozy addition to the Seattle restaurant scene. Even in the rainiest and coldest months of winter, you'll find guests savoring plantain chips, sipping mezcal, and sharing some easy warmth by the steadfast fire.